All right, today I'm going to give you a quick review of Flashpoint's new R2 system and how it works with my Nikon gear. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. Hello and welcome back, everyone. My name is Eric Marks with FindingMiddle-earth.com, and today we're going to talk about this new R2 system. So it's been quite a while now since I've made a video review on the Flashpoint stuff. I did quite a popular video months back about the Flashpoint, the original Flashpoint speedlight system, because I personally was considering buying one and I couldn't find any information about them on YouTube or anything. So I made a video and it got very popular, and so I've met a lot of other people through that video that have shot with them, and I've learned some stuff and they've learned some stuff, and we've had some great conversations. So the R2 system came out not too terribly long ago, but ever since they did come out, a lot of it has been on back order. So I finally just got mine in a couple weeks ago because I had ordered the TTL version of the Flash, okay? And so they make a manual version and a TTL. And typically I don't get the TTL versions because I almost always shoot in manual. But as part of the review, so many people asked how the TTL worked. Did it work well? So I waited for the TTL version so that I could review that for you guys. So right now I have, I ordered a lot of these R2 units, by the way, but right now I just have one of them out here, and then I have the original, the non-R2, the original version that I reviewed in the video a while back, okay? So I have the R2 here, you can see R2, and then I have the other one, and they look, I mean, very similar. The buttons on the new R2 unit are clear, and there's a few more buttons on the R2 unit, by the way, but as far as size and weight, it's about the same. They use the exact same lithium-ion battery, so that's nice. That way I can, you know, if I do forget like a charger or a battery, whatever, I can always swap the batteries and the chargers amongst the two flashes. I do notice that the new R2 system has a way better screen on it. It's just brighter, it's easier to read. The R2 or the R1, whatever they call it, the original version, the screen wasn't very good. It's just, I don't know, it was never easy to read. It was just kind of blurry. So the R2 is just a better screen. It's seems to be a very similar interface to this one, but this one, the R2 system, the firmware was upgraded, and the actual menu system was so much easier to navigate, to find stuff. Because if you did watch my original video on the original one here, okay, the menu system is horrible on this one. It was like some Japanese crazy person wrote the software for this. It was just a pain in the butt to find high-speed sync, because there's an actual like high-speed sync button here, but it doesn't do anything. You can press it all day long and it just doesn't do anything until you make a setting on your camera. So it just this one was just kind of a pain in the butt. I'm very used to it now. So, I mean, this one, you know, I love both of these. I don't have complaints with them because I just know how to use it. But if you don't know how to use Flash and you're looking to buy your first speed light and you're not kind of used to the way they're set up, this one is more of a pain in the butt. This one is easier to just kind of plug and play. So let's talk about the actual R2 abilities, right? Because the new one, let me put this one aside, the old one. The new one here, the R2, the biggest selling point is that it has a built-in radio trigger, right? So it has the ability to stick this on my camera, and the trigger here, the transmitter, is just built in. So that way you don't need one of these things here to stick on the bottom of the Flash in order to fire it, like I do with the R1 version, okay? I can just take this out, and one of these is basically built into this Flash. So let me show you something cool about it and something not so cool. So aesthetically, I like, this actually helped me a lot. I know I said that I wish they had levers on these things for when you put it on the camera, so it locks it in, and I still wish that. But if you can see the difference, so look at this one. If you can see, they have put these like finger-sized ridges in the little screw, so that once you get it real nice and tight, if your hands are sweaty or whatever, you can stick your finger in these ridges and it's real easy to unscrew and loosen off of the camera. That is a big help, because there were so many times with this one, the original one, where I was shooting events and stuff, and I would want to, you know, pop the Flash off and put a trigger on or something, and I just could not get it without like I actually had to start putting a pair of pliers, which is ridiculous. in my camera bag to yank this thing off because my hands were sweaty and it kept slipping off. So this one doesn't have any kind of big indentation. It just has these tiny little teeth on it, which don't really do anything at all. So this one's very hard to get off your camera if you have it tightened a lot, which you want it tightened. And this one with these new little ridges is quite nice. So you can get your, the leverage in there, which is very nice. It still has a metal hot shoe itself, which is good. Can't complain about that. TTL seems to work better on the R2 than this one. The TTL on this one works okay, but I find that it kind of overcompensates a lot. It thinks that it should be brighter than it should, and this one seems to be way more in the ballpark of being able to recover the highlights if it does blow out a little bit. But this one is very refined and tweaked a little more than this one. But when I'm talking about these little cons in these flashes, you have to keep in mind these flashes are like $130. I mean, they're very, very good price for what you get. I love the fact that they are lithium-ion batteries, because the fact that you have this means that you get fast recycle times and that you get like 450 shots fires a flash versus like 100 or something, or like 120 if you get the AA version. So I don't know why anyone in their right mind would even get a AA version. The lithium-ion is awesome. Literally, I have gone through 2 events back to back without charging this, and it has just, performed flawlessly. It's amazing. So I'm a pretty big fan of these Flashpoint flashes, but I'll show you something weird about this one, okay, about the R2. Let me put the flash here on its little stand, and I'll try to show you. So it's a little funky. And I don't know if this is a firmware issue. I don't think this is something that I'm doing, but I guess you never know. Take my lens cap off. So the radio, because what a lot of people want to know is, how does the radio transmitter work, right? I've tested it through walls. So yes, it works through walls. It works through cement walls. It works through my walls in my house here. I've just left this in my office, and I've gone to another room and it flashes. So that's awesome. But let me show you. Let me put this in slave mode here. All right. There we go. Let's do a test real quick. I'm gonna close my eyes. Oh, didn't work. Let's see. Do I have it in the right mode? All right, sorry, I don't know why I'm so dumb. I was sitting here wondering, I'm like, why is it not firing? These are really easy to set up. The whole issue that I was going to show you that I had with these, that's what was happening. I was sitting here wondering why it wasn't working, and I totally forgot that that's what I was going to show you. When the trigger gets too close to the flash, it doesn't fire, and I don't understand. Okay, let me show you. So the flash is going to stay right here. Okay, I'm just going to put it slightly off camera. Okay, right here. All right, and the trigger's over here. So we're talking like, I don't know, maybe 10 inches apart right now. All right, and I'm going to focus on something over here. All right, and it's going to go off. Okay, see, it flashed. Right, so it's still going to flash. It's going to keep going off. That's perfectly fine. I can shoot all day long. Okay, the recycle times. Seriously, the recycle times are phenomenal. That's on 1/4 power, okay, quarter power. That's really good for a quarter power. That's 1 stop shy of a half. This thing will just fire all day long. So that's awesome. But look what happens when you get the trigger too close to the flash. Watch. Nothing. Nothing will happen. Look. Nothing. It just, I don't know what, it's like, it's almost like it's acting as if it's line of sight or something, but it's not line of sight because I have it on radio mode. It has the little radio signal on the back, and the little radio signal is on here, and it's going to go off, but then it won't go off. I don't get it. But over here, it'll go off every single time. If I keep it further away, every single time. I can't see anything, by the way. I'm completely blind now. But seriously, every time. You see this? It just gets too far apart and nothing happens. So I don't know. I'm not that I would ever really shoot that close, but it's a little concerning that it does that. I don't get it. So I wanted to show you guys that because that is one big thing I found in my testing with this flash. This one did not do it, okay? I did test it with putting this R2 unit on the bottom of this, and I got them like literally touching each other so close together, everything was fine. So it must be something with the firmware, maybe the trigger, the receiver inside of here is not talking to this when they're like right next to each other. I don't know. It's really funky, but it's almost acting like it's a line of sight flash where the two, beams have to be talking to each other. But that can't be it because it is in, like I literally see it, it is in radio mode. I looked in the instruction manual, both of them are on the radio, because if I were to leave the room right now and fire this flash in the other room, this would go off. If this was a line of sight flash, then it wouldn't go off like that because it would have to have line of sight to the beam on the trigger here. So I don't know. I just still think it's like literally like the funkiest thing ever, that it'll just fire, and then when you get to that little sweet spot, nothing. Okay, so I don't know. Read into that however you want. I don't necessarily know what that's indicative of, not sure. But this is still an awesome flash. Again, the menu system is super easy. The screen is brighter, much brighter than the other one. It actually tells you, you know this flash is in slave mode because it's orange. And if you don't want this flash in slave mode, you press this and it goes back to green. Okay, so that actually tells me whether it's in a manual mode, TTL, or if it's in slave mode by going here. That way I know it's in slave if it goes orange. And that's just nice because then if I am shooting an event and I have 4 or 5 of these guys set up in corners of the room, I can just look and see, okay, that one is lit up as orange, so I know it's in slave already, I'm good. That one is in green, I forgot that one, right? So I just know this. Because you might be wondering, well, how can you get them to light up across the room? If you hit the test button and pop it off, it'll light up for you. So, and you can set it on a timer, by the way. You can have it stay on for like 2 seconds or 5 seconds. You can have it stay on indefinitely if you want to, but that would be absurd because that would just drain all your battery. So anyway, all in all, I think it's a really good flash. With the battery in it, it feels, the weight is good. It feels like it's built well. It doesn't feel much different than the Nikon and Canon flashes that we pay $500 for. It's nice, but the TTL is more accurate on the actual Nikon versions. I've had the Nikon SB900s, SB910s. I still have 2 SB900s as a matter of fact, but I prefer these because I like that I can integrate the radio system. It's this ecosystem that Flashpoint is starting to form that I like. Currently, I'm looking at the Flashpoint Explore. If you guys have seen that, it's like a $500 or $600 flash, and it's a big studio strobe. And excuse me, the reason I'm looking at that is because I'm actually wanting to. Well, this is kind of a secret, but I guess I'll go ahead and tell you guys. Very soon, I'm wanting to set up some very old portraits. I'm going to do these series of portraits on cowboys. I don't know why. I just got this idea, and I was like, you know what? Every time I'm out, I'll normally see like one person. If I'm out anywhere, I'll be like, man, I wish I could photograph that guy. I love the wrinkles on his face and the aging. And the more I notice, the more people that look like that like grunged look, have a cowboy hat and cowboy boots on. So I want to do like a series of photographing cowboys. And so I'm going to use these, and I'm going to use an Explore light, and I just want to do a whole kind of story about it. And so I thought it'd be a great kind of add-on review for the Flashpoint system, and it'd be something cool to throw up on the blog. So again, all in all, I think both of these are very good flashes. If you're going to buy one, you might as well buy the R2 because these are only like $30 more expensive than this, and you get the new one with the built-in trigger so that you don't have to worry about buying, a bunch of these little foot units to stick in for the radio unit. These also do, by the way, I know someone will ask this, the new R2 unit with the R2 trigger here will do wireless high-speed sync, so off-camera high-speed sync flash, which is phenomenal. I have used it and it works phenomenally. It really does work really good. If you do a lot of overpowering the sun type work, that's what high-speed sync is for. And I'm actually going to make a video soon on what high-speed sync is and why you'd want to use it if you don't understand that. But these are great. Again, I will say, amongst all the features and cool little buttons and stuff and all the little stuff they have, the best feature about it is the fact that it is a lithium-ion battery. That is something that you won't find in the SB900 and the Canon EX600s or whatever. It runs on this. So you can pop them off all day long and not have to worry about battery life, and the recycle times are wonderful. That's not something you ever want to have to worry about if you're shooting something like a political event, a corporate event, a wedding. You don't want to have to worry about your flash slowing your whole system down. You just want to shoot and not worry about it. So that's what these guys are for. I really, really highly recommend them. The only quirk I found was that little thing where you get close and they won't fire. And again, I made sure it's in radio all the way, so it's not some kind of line of sight issue. I'm not sure what it is. So I guess read into that however you want and see if you can figure that out for yourself. Maybe I just got a dud, who knows? But I bought 4 of these, so all 4 of them do it. I can't really explain why. But yeah, anyway, so thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this quick little review on these guys. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one. If you would like to stay up to date on all of my latest photography videos and adventures, click the big subscribe button below. And if you would like to find out more about me and how to become a great photographer, visit my website at findingmiddleearth.com.